Hi, welcome back. This is the second semi-final from the Prince Takamado World Cup in Japan. The semi-final is between Enzo Lefort of France and Race Imbuden of the USA. Imbuden is on your left and left-handed. Lefort is on your right, much taller than his opponent, right-handed. So, as this semi-final gets underway, we already see it's much faster, much more aggressive than the first semi-final that we saw. Similar marching attack there by Imbuden, coming forward, really trying to change the distance. Both fences step forward and miss, and they're parry post by Lefort. Imbuden just got a little bit too close. Lefort managed to pick up the blade, but only hit him off target. Slow marching attack there by Imbuden, like we saw before, using his arm to change the kind of distance where he's going to go, but his step is too big. It's too much, his arm isn't extending. Lefort stays where he is and closes the line as Imbuden's arm is all the way back. So 1-0 now. There's counterattack by Imbuden. Lefort steps forward. Imbuden tries to close in and counterattack, but Lefort, because he's moving really slowly, could just land his point. There, it's the exact same action as we saw before. This is the previous action. Lefort's preparation, Imbuden's come in and close. Exactly the same action before. Lefort has tried to draw the same two attacks, and it's worked both times, but he's only managed to land off target both times. There, you see Imbuden, really nice attack. He's using his arm to keep Lefort at bay there. He's holding it out so that there he can take the parry really easily, really early, and judges the distance really well, managed to land stationary, and has a really easy job of just hitting Lefort under the arm because they're so close after the parry. Again, using his arm to keep the taller man's marching attack at bay. Lefort kind of opens up the distance a little bit, but to get their attack off target. Similar marching attack by Imbuden, finishes short. Lefort comes in a little bit, he comes forward a little bit slower than previously. His preparation on his front foot and draws the attack there by Imbuden, who obliges, comes forward, but Lefort manages to take the parry and he hits him over the shoulder because of Imbuden's attempted counter-attack from easing there. It's a really nice attack by Imbuden. Here's Lefort step forward. He wasn't quite sure what he was going to do. Imbuden comes forward really fast with a step lunge attack, changes his line from across the body, finishes high. Lefort isn't quite sure where the attack's going to come. 2-all. This is clever by Lefort. As he steps in, as you can see here, Imbuden tries to come in, tries to feint in to get Lefort to finish his attack, but because he's much taller and the closing distance again by Imbuden, Lefort can just finish over his shoulder because as he's coming into his distance. 2-3. Parry post by Imbuden. He's kind of gone in a little bit and come back out because he's wary of the parry post that Lefort used before, but can only get attack off target here. We see the same kind of thing by Imbuden, using his arm to keep the bigger man at bay. He doesn't want him to come into the kind of distance that he wants with that marching attack, so he uses his arm to not, Lefort has to deal with the blade as well as his distance. This is a really nice touch by Imbuden. As you see, he comes forward, similar attack before. This is the previous attack. He's coming forward with that marching attack, and there, that action there, he accelerates on that change of action. Here, he does the same thing. His arm changes, he accelerates, but because of he varies from attack before, or he changes but keeps on going instead of finishing. He gets Lefort right on his backline, who can't move his feet, so he uses his arm to try to parry, which leaves a really nice, easy disengage for Imbuden to move through. Just hit him on the shoulder. 3-all now. As Imbuden tries to change positions, as he stops and tries to come forward, Lefort just finishes easily to Lefort's flank. Imbuden didn't even to Imbuden's flank. Sorry, Imbuden didn't even get a light up on that exchange. 4-3 now. Slow marching attack there by Imbuden as he takes the blade really slowly and just finishes to the shoulder. Attack simultaneous here. Both fences start this at the same time as the referee says allez with a step lunge. Both fences extending their arm about the same time and tempo. Simultaneous. Here we see Lefort starting his really slow attack, and Imbuden is using the same kind of tactic, keeping him at bay and counterattacks in, closing the distance really well. There, I think Lefort could have landed the touch if he changed the line which he was going to hit instead of hitting along the side, try to hit to the flank. But because Imbuden closed the distance so quickly, I don't think Lefort really had the chance to change the angle of his attack there. 4-all now. Here we see both fences kind of preparing a little bit, and then Imbuden starts his marching attack again, finishes. He's not quite ready to finish the attack. Here's a nice bit of adaptation by Imbuden. See, on a previous touch, as Lefort's come forward, Imbuden's fated but continued to go in looking for the parry. but he's come into LaFour's distance, who can just finish over his shoulder. On this instance, instead of continuing to go forward, he feints in once and then goes immediately back out, causing LaFour to finish instead of getting hit. As LaFour comes forward, yeah, Immonen thinks he's caught LaFour in preparation. He's gone for a video replay, but LaFour's action is still continuous, while Immonen has kind of prepared with his back foot and managed to get a 2 fencing time action. A preparation almost needs a 3 time, a step lunge. This is just preparation lunge. And LaFour's arm, while it's not extending really well, Immonen does, as the referee signals there, it's just one continuous action, and so it's still LaFour's attack off target. This is a very, very similar attack to what we saw before, almost exactly the same. As the referee calls Ale, LaFour steps forward in kind of preparation, not quite sure what's going to happen. He's expecting a preparation from Immonen, who doesn't give anything from it, who just comes forward with a step lunge, changing the different line again as we saw him do it before, and LaFour's kind of caught unawares. There, single attack by Immonen. LaFour kind of stopped again as the referee says Ale, not quite sure what's going to happen. Kind of almost pulls his arm back, really, it's just so late the way he's extending, and LaFour just extends into it. Really nice long attack there, and he's continually changing the line, as you can see here. So coming forward really, so watch his arm, it's moving all over the place. So LaFour doesn't quite know where it's going to come. See there, LaFour scampers back, and as he stops, as he's slightly off balance, LaFour just finishes to the top of his arm. 7-4 now, nice attack. What we see here is very, very similar to what happened before. LaFour comes forward, changes his tempo there. The distance between his feet change. LaFour, Immonen tries to counterattack in, feign it, and then parry riposte. But because of the height LaFour has, he's able just to finish over the shoulder because Immonen's coming into his distance. Slow marking attack there by Immonen. But see, this is different. This is different. Instead of LaFour going back, he's come in. He's come in. As Immonen's come forward really slow, he is still preparing. Even though it's his attack, he's still technically preparation here. Yeah, see, LaFour, he feints with the back foot, then goes in, extending in. Even though there's 2 lights, Immonen's attempted parry kind of gives it away. That he's been caught inside his preparation because he's not quite sure. He's not looking if he wants to finish or he's not looking to parry. And so his action kind of gives that away. And the referee's changed his decision. 7-6 now. Good call by LaFour and a good change of tactic as well. Here again, we see a little bit of change of both fences. See, even he feints in there, then backs straight out. But instead of letting him catch his balance, LaFour is right on top of him again. You see, wait, if you see there, he feints and goes away. But now, as he's reading backwards, he's off balance. And as he steps forward, his arm is not where it should be. LaFour manages to gain his balance back first, take the blade and hit Immonen under his chest as he steps forward, completely off balance. 7-all now. Ooh. Immonen came forward a little bit too eager for the attack. A couple of times he's made one action of preparation, one step forward, then finish. This time he's made a couple more. He can't do that against a taller opponent like LaFour, who just managed to hit and run away as LaFour is still in that fast preparation. Here, as LaFour is stepped forward, his arm is a little bit too much where it should be, and Immonen prepares by taking the blade, and LaFour is still closing the distance, so he just can finish, flick him on the shoulder quite easily. 8-all. Simple attacking preparation there by Immonen, but he was a bit unlucky to land that attack off target. Bit of a slower attack there by LaFour, but Immonen is still using his arm to keep him at bay. Yet, neither fencer really wants to commit to that because they've both been called out by parry riposte and counterattacks in their action, and so because of their non-committal movement, I think both of them got a bit caught up, and so no attack was scored there. Parry riposte there by LaFour. Immonen got a little bit too close, and LaFour was able to pick up the blade relatively easily, but only hit him off target. Changing distance by both fencers, both coming in, both coming out, attempting to make the opponent fencer miss. Yeah, counter parry riposte by LaFour. That's a nice bit of adaptation from what we saw previously. See, the previous parry riposte Immonen got, as he stepped forward, he managed to take parry riposte because LaFour kept on going. In this instance, he takes the same blade, but LaFour doesn't keep on going, he stops, and because of the distance between the two fences, he's fast enough to take the counter parry riposte, but he's only able to hit off target. Parry riposte there by Immonen off target. Takes the blade, turns his body a little bit, but still keeping everything legal. Hits LaFour off target. Both fences kind of prepare there. Immonen finishes with a step rather than a lunge. I think that's why he had to finish the shoulder, because he didn't have the distance to disengage and hit him underneath the arm, but still got the point on target. Nice bit of point control as well. 9-8 to Imogen. 17 seconds left in this first period. Imogen marching attack again, finishes a little bit short, and so does LaFour. There, as Imogen comes forward, he brings his arm back so LaFour can't take the blade, but he's a little bit too far away, so he just can't land the point on target. 11 seconds left in this first period. Again, it's the same kind of action. Even though you see Imogen's arm almost stop, it's not a stop action enough. It's just more of a, it looks more like a change in line. And so, again, attack off target. Distance not quite right to get that attack on. 7 seconds left, and both fences decide to leave it at 9-8. Beginning this second period, let's see if the fences have changed their tactical after talking with their coaches and see what they come back with. See tactically if anything's changed so much. Imogen's still trying the same parry pass. LaFour got a little bit too close. Imogen takes the blade and hits him off target on the leg, I think there. Attack by LaFour there, yeah, 9-all, sorry. Video couldn't really tell. I think LaFour just started extending a little bit too early because their feet, a little bit earlier, correction, because the tempo of their feet was pretty much the same off the on-guard lines. 9-all now. Yeah, okay, now this is a good example. LaFour has slightly changed his difference. This is a previous action where that marching attack of Imogen's has worked because LaFour has gone backwards. He's giving him the distance. On this attack, he doesn't go backwards. He stays and counterattacks, and so LaFour, Imogen's big action gets blocked out. Really nice parry pass there. LaFour feints with his front foot, then comes backwards, goes in and out of the distance, confuses Imogen, and able to get a really nice, easy parry pass. Similar marching attack there by LaFour. Yeah, parry pass there by Imogen. I think he wasn't quite sure whether he wanted to parry or counterattack. Kind of just end up standing up, but managed to get a light off target. Slow marching attack there by Imogen. He's trying to, yeah, it was the change in distance there by LaFour. Imogen was kind of almost caught flat-footed. He doesn't really move that much on that action, just counterattack by trying to close the line and spin. LaFour could just flick him across the chest. There we see LaFour try to counterattack in, like the stop hit that we saw previously, but Imogen held his distance really well. As soon as LaFour fell backwards off balance, he just accelerated with that running attack. Just hit him on the arm. There we just see, off the on-guard line, LaFour isn't quite ready to make any action, not quite ready to commit. Imogen is and just extends him with a step lunge. 11-all, he's closed that two-hit lead that LaFour had. Counterattack there by LaFour. Imogen has to be careful he doesn't get hit by that stop hit like previously. Parry pass there by LaFour, counter parry pass, excuse me, by LaFour. And Imogen kind of reprised, hit him and fell off the piste as he did so. It's a little bit better by Imogen. He's closing a little bit better, moving in a little bit more as LaFour sped up with his arm still back. But because he closed into the distance, LaFour just couldn't land the action. Previously, LaFour was given that, and Imogen called for a video replay, which was successful. But you'll notice that the referee just doesn't put the score down. There, with that action, Imogen's moving in and out of the distance, trying to confuse LaFour where he is and get him to finish, which he does. And there, both of them just notice that the score isn't what it should be. Now it's 11-all. Same marching attack by Imogen. LaFour stays where he is, and both of them are a little bit unlucky to not get the let up. Counter-attack there with him, you see by his body language, he's just really lucky to get that touch. It was LaFour had all the initiative on that action. I think he just suspended his arm a little bit too much than what it should be, didn't extend it. And Imogen kind of stayed where he was and scrummed a little and just somehow managed to get the light up. 12-11. Attack simultaneous there, both step forward in preparation, and then both lunge and extend at the same time. There, it's still LaFour's attack, but Imogen, he thinks he's caught him in preparation if you watch. LaFour does pull his arm back massively, but begins to extend way before Imogen does. Imogen's not happy. Yeah, you see with his hand, he thinks he's gone straight into LaFour's attack, but he was moving backwards, and his extension came long after LaFour's arm began moving again. Attack given to LaFour, 12-all. That was lazy. But Imogen, he stepped forward without the intention, without the need to get the hit. Finished really lazily on the back. One light, 13-12. Same marching attack by Imogen. And LaFour goes backwards this time, but manages to avoid getting hit. Then comes forward and hits off target, 13-12. Again, we see the same kind of action there. Immonen again closing, but not just landing the point on first. I think he's counter-attacking before his hand is moving, which is why he's not getting the light up. It's really nice action there by Immonen. LaFour managed to take the parry. He's really off balance. Again here, parries. Immonen's really off balance, really far back, but manages to bring himself up to the position he needs to be. Sees that LaFour is covering the high line and just finishes to his back. 13-all. Really nice point accuracy there. Same arching attack there by Immonen, but riposte there by LaFour as Immonen kind of realized that he wasn't in the right distance. As he realized that LaFour had the blade, he kind of tried to sneak underneath LaFour so he couldn't so LaFour couldn't hit him, which didn't happen because LaFour hit him. And now it's 14-13. LaFour 1 point away. Ooh! I think LaFour has the action he wants here. He comes forward to make Immonen finish and manages to take the parry there. But as he steps forward, the problem is he steps forward with his arm all the way back because Immonen closes the distance so quickly and so directly. LaFour just can't land to get his light on because he has to finish from so far away. 14-all now. You hear the cheers from the French in the background because they see the green light, but everyone knows that's Immonen. Immonen's attack off target. Parry pass there by Immonen. Really nice touch. Throws his masking celebration. He stepped forward, stopped, taking the parry, and flicked him to the chest. Really stationary. Really nice touch to win this match. And he's into the finals of this comp. LaFour has to settle for the bronze medal. Very well fenced by both.